Last year, I transferred from a really robust STEM program to a Title I high school. There weren't any labs in AP biology. Can you imagine learning how to do polymerase chain reaction from a textbook? Due to the lack of resources for labs, we weren't prepared for the AP exam. And at my new school, we don't even have a computer science program. Like many other young women with aspirations in STEM, I don't have the resources I need to pursue the career of my dreams.
And the problem is, Tahlia's story is not unique, and according to the CSTA, only 37% of Arizona schools with APCS programs offer CS. And with technology moving as fast as it goes, the students are going to be left behind. And so the solution that I propose is, why not bring students and give them the tools to be able to solve this and help solve this resource problem with the teachers. As of my knowledge, I'm the only person in Arizona offering programming for VR at the K-12 level. The whole idea is that we want to enable students to be creators in the classroom and not consumers. And according to Bloom's taxonomy, creating is the highest form of learning. You know, we baby a lot of the students, but that's not what they want. They want to be challenged, they want to create, they want to contribute to the classroom. And VR opens up a lot more opportunities for this to happen, and additionally work with the teachers. Students and teachers can co-create the experiences together. So this is an example of a VR club at Herbert Graham Scholar Academy. This is what was made by a 10th grader in the span of about 2 weeks. So VR, it may seem a little bit scary, but it is very approachable. And how do we do that is from the VR curriculum at scale. The main pain point that we want to introduce is that a lot of the teachers and students don't really have the technical expertise to be able to pick up VR, and overall it's pretty intimidating. But being able to co-create with Tahlia here and some other high school students that I mentor, we put together this curriculum. I have it in English, Spanish, and closed captioning to be able to have it available for as accessible as possible. I made sure that this curriculum is aligned to the Arizona computer science standards. So for the customer beachheads, we've launched at 2 different schools. One as a private charter high school, launched at Herbert Graham Scholar Academy as an elective class. A second one as a public charter school, Arizona Prep. This is a school where 87% of the students are at or below the poverty line. So being able to bring that technology to them is deeply meaningful. So the market position, we are in a very unique space between both the K-12 and the coding bootcamp market. We have the numbers here. And ultimately, we want to be able to create a sustainable education option where the teachers and students can use. We do have competition where we have after-school clubs, or Dreamscape Learn, or field trips. But the main problem is that the schools don't own the content. The schools don't own the material. There is a loss of agency within the schools. And the thing that we want to be able to do is give those schools the agency and power to create for the students and solve their particular needs. Every school has different problems and different opportunities as well. So this is the current business model right now as a full solution. Right now, Herbert Graham Scholar Academy gives me about for the basic, and ASU Prep already pays me for the premium model. So these are the 2 areas, just to give a little more time for that. And then my goal is to be able to have education at scale, to be able to develop a website for VR Clubs of America, create new class offerings within AI, VR, and other types of material. I'm thinking of $20 per course and really target the homeschool market. And then the next thing that I want to look into is providing professional development for teachers, having 3D workshops around 1K each. There is a lot of opportunity for even teachers to upskill, not just in AI technology, but having those skills to be able to create for their classrooms. So the ask is for 10 grand in seed funding to get us started. But with 6K, it can really get us started as well. The rest of the funding is to be able to explore public schools. So Tahlia has started a VR club at her school, McClintock High School, which is Title I, but we also need some of the resources to explore and see what that looks like in the public school proper as a new beachhead. And so ultimately, I see that students and teachers need to be equipped for the future. If you teach biology from 20 years ago, you're not teaching biology, you're teaching history. And the same thing applies to technology today. We want teachers to be able to interact with the students and engage in the new accomplishments. attachments, team, appendix, and testimonials, and other.
So is the goal to teach programming or to teach VR?
To teach programming for VR, where students are the content creators.
Is this a for-profit or a nonprofit?
This, right now, I am paid as an educational consultant with the 2 high schools, and that's where the administrative and legal fees breaks down into getting an LLC, getting the consulting and sustaining program.
So it's fine to be for-profit, I'm just
Yeah.
curious what your thoughts were about the corporate structure.
Yeah, so what I'm thinking is having it split between like a nonprofit arm where we focus on kind of the Title I schools, and then the consulting branch where it's the LLC. That's the vision that I have, to have 2 different arms, but right now I'm still figuring things out.
Where's the budget for this come from?
I help schools apply to grants and win grants.
Is it McClintock High School is one of the places you're actively working on this?
We're Tahlia.
Yeah, so I started a VR club at McClintock, which doesn't have a computer science program, and so currently we're getting Unity downloaded, working through admin. We've got a VR headset, and so we're teaching kids who have never learned to code before how to create VR experiences like this.
So why VR and not something like First Robotics, which can impact more students, less hardware, or a science Olympiad that's at McClintock, or one of the other programs that's already nationally?
Right, so a big thing is with a physical science lab, making a new one, it costs me, $500,000 with all the material and costs. With First Robotics, it's a really great program. It's nationally recognized, but there's a lot of resources that go into it. But then there's a lot of invisible costs, like the conference costs, the travel, trips to the registration, all these extra things that it's a yes and. But then with VR headsets, maybe you get couple grand, $2,500 for the school. The students are developing for it, they can apply. So the actual cost is very constrained compared to other programs that come across as not that much, but balloon afterwards.
Can you clarify, where does this fit inside the curriculum? So is this an after-school club, a lunch club?
Right, so I've been able to get it as an elective into 2 different high schools. I'm working with University of Advancing Technology for a private university, moving on to higher ed for this coming spring, and I'm talking to Gateway Academy, which is a private school, trying to be able to explore what it looks like across all these different customer beachheads. We also have it as an after-school club at Lumos Art Academy and McClintock High School. So it just depends on what is capable at the schools and what the teacher capacity is.
Does the per school fee come with a headset or multiple headsets? How does that work?
So the consulting fee would just be me helping them get it started. It would be their responsibility to secure the headsets, and depending on that, whether I can help them apply to grants to win those grants.
If you were going to do this for biology, for example,
Right.
how many headsets would you want for a class of 20?
So just to address the headset situation first, you don't actually need headsets for VR Club. We do have VR simulators, so a lot of schools already are one-to-one, and so just being able to have the programming for VR, and we can have the VR programming available for them within the simulators.
So on a laptop or
On a laptop, you can simulate the VR, but I mean, it's really up to the students and what they want.
got it. Okay.
What headsets are you targeting, or what's the ideal headset?
Yeah, so right now we use the MetaQuests, Quest 2s or Quest 3s or 3Ss. It's pretty cheap relatively to the other things in the market.
It's not Apple Vision Pro,
Yeah.
$3,500 or something.